Patrick. We are on Game 18, San Diego. It's the host team, the United States, playing the team from just south of the border, Mexico. I'm joined once again with Gareth Rees. And Gareth, this is a big game for the Eagles. They really have played well in spurts today, but I think they really want to put a good effort in this last game of the day.
Yeah, it's been a tough day in front of their home crowd. They lost big to South Africa, you can see there. But probably the thing that Al Caravelli's men, the coach, will want to build on is that fine second half performance against England. They came right back and within a whisker, just the last minute of tying that ball game up. So I think they're going to feed off this crowd. It's been a great atmosphere here at Petco, and there's a lot of faithful American fans here want to see them do well. So they'll put on a show.
For the United States, Todd Clever, Gillenwater, Hawkins, Ngwenya on service from Biarritz, Malifa Wiles and Della Stanford. Coached by Al Caravelli. Mexico, Andrade, Garcia, Gilardi, Gonzalez, David Parsons, Carlos Peterson, Mauricio Rios. A referee, Ben Skeen from the New Zealand Rugby Union. And we are underway. Mexico kicks off to the USA. There we go, Ngwenya. Too much speed, too quick. Ngwenya, first try under the post for the United States.
Oh, good response, good first action. Ngwenya, who there's so much anticipation about him coming here. His big try from the World Cup was played on the big screen. He had a few lapses, defensive lapses in the previous game, which cost him. But what a response here. Takes the wide ball, shows off the outside of the left foot, and then just weaving his way through the Mexican players. Great work. We know Ngwenya's a great open field runner, and this is just a wonderful example of it. You know, the type of thing that people in Biarritz get to see week in and week out.
There's one thing in this world of rugby you cannot coach, and that is pure speed. All right, we're back underway with the USA kickoff. Well, a little bit of a knock on there.
Yeah, we'll have a scrum down, but Ngwenya is such a good example of what I feel. You know, I live north of the 49th up in Canada.
Just square and steady before the ball.
There's been a real push in American rugby and a lot more guys involved. And a guy like Ngwenya coming from second division out of Dallas, you know, he's now part of the program, and that's going to only make American rugby stronger.
Pause, engage.
Well, Al Caravelli, the coach of the Eagle Sevens team, he says that there's at least 2 or 3 dozen guys like Ngwenya floating around that just need to be found.
Yeah.
Right now the Eagles are controlling the ball. It goes wide to Todd Clever. Oh, nice big tackle there from the number 8, David Parsons.
Stay there.
Mexico's been able to turn this over.
Man on it.
Not releasing the ball, so Mexico come away with the penalty. Mexican rugby really focused around a couple of neighborhoods in Mexico City. It's a small union, but they're very excited. This is their 3rd trip to an IRB Sevens event, and they're just happy to be here.
Yeah, I got to give them credit. Noel Garcia, well, they're getting scored on here by big Matt Hawkins, but they've been fairly organized up to this point. They got called for the turnover, and Hawkins runs it in pretty easily. But I've been fairly impressed with the Mexicans. They've been in a couple of games, they've showed some shape. Here, unfortunately, you see not releasing at the tackle, the quick tap, and Hawkins is on hand to run it in.
Matt Hawkins from the Omback Club here in San Diego, a local lad. Had a very nasty knee injury a couple of seasons ago. Had to have a full reconstruction, and now he's back fully fit. And I was talking to some of the boys at the training camp they had down here in San Diego a couple of weeks ago. They say he likes to hit.
I don't meet many Americans who play rugby who don't like to hit.
Yeah, you've been on the receiving end of a couple of those, haven't you, mate?
Oh, yeah. Some of them even legal. But that was a bad mistake, kicking the ball straight out off the kickoff, so it'll be possession to Mexico.
And Mexico take it into the ruck. Probably committed a couple of too many men there. But they will see possession. So number 4, Gilardi. And just difficult possession for Mexico to retain. The US is counter-rucking very strongly here. And that's that man Hawkins just scored the try. Just working forward. Todd Clever's there to clear the ball. And Dallin Stanford there cleaning up. Nessie Malifa. He's just going to job this one in for the try. Nessie Malifa in for the third US try. And they extend their lead now. A little over 3 minutes gone. USA 19-0 with the kick to come.
Well, we've seen Malifa do it in the 15s game. Now he's doing it in the 7s. Great playmaker, great vision for the space. On this occasion, just showing the ball, receives the inside ball, good step, realizing the Mexican defenders have overcommitted, and he just ran it in from 30 meters out. Easy score, and you know when you're good, it looks easy. So good run in from Malifa.
And he's going to have a go at converting his own try. That's not going to work.
That's what go.
Malifa, who plays with the Belmont Shore Club here in Southern California locally. US fans getting into it.
Yeah.
Love and seeing their side do well in this game.
A good atmosphere all around the park. There's a village out back. There's been kids running around playing. And a few of the libations, maybe a few of those Steinlagers from our sponsors, starting to kick in and getting pretty loud in here.
And we got some big games coming up here. A little later in the evening. New Zealand, Scotland, crucial in Pool A. Fiji, Samoa, the big one.
Scrum blue ball.
Yeah, and just to be here in this baseball stadium, you know, having a bunch of American guys out there on this hallowed turf, San Diego Padres home, and playing the game they love. That's good fun to watch, and especially it's a shame they didn't get this game first one off this morning maybe and get some confidence. You know, they're playing really well here against the Mexicans.
Yeah, tough pool for the US Eagles with both South Africa and England in the pool. Nice pass there. This is going to be taken up the sideline. And the USA is in once again. Number 6, Chris Wiles.
Another man who served the 15 cause for the Eagles. Showing good pace there on the outside. That time it was Ngwenyi, I think, with the offload. A nice pass.
Absolutely. Chris Wiles, I thought, was one of the best for the United States during the recently completed Rugby World Cup in France. Played fullback there. Just announced he's going to be playing his rugby here locally with the Ombak Club in San Diego.
All right, we'll be happy, but Ngwenyi did make the try. He committed the defender, and that was the offload the Wiles needed, and they had enough pace to get around the end. But yeah, the American Super League's really shaping up. Some quality players popping up all over the place. It's going to be a good competition this year.
Malifa with the conversion. The USA now leads 26 points to 0. Only 20 seconds left in this first half. And it's been comprehensive from the Eagles, hasn't it, Gareth?
Yeah, it has, and say they're in a tough pool. It looks pretty easy now, but it's a little different story when the English and the South Africans are defending against you.
That's the second time in this half they've committed the mistake off the kickoff, letting it sail over the sideline. Well, there we go. Yeah, the restart errors. That's hurting the USA right now because they've had good possession. The ball's knocked on there.
Yeah, and it's particularly, we talked about those other games, they're punishing.
Half time.
And, you know, you give them possession back to a team like England, South Africa, it's all over.
Absolutely. And after that knock on, the referee's quite happy to blow half time as the hooter went. The USA with a comfortable lead at the break, 26 points to 0 over their south of the border Mexican opponents.
Well, El Caravelli's pulling his team in. A few highlights here. Oh, rugby highlights now. Ngwenyi, the man that everyone's come to see, the man who scored the try of the year last year at the World Cup. He's on show here. Big Todd Cleaver takes a big smack from the Mexicans. They're not here to just make up the numbers. And Malifa is the supplier on this instance. Getting the ball to Matt Hawkins. He touches down. Comprehensive effort, as you say, early on. Malifa this time keeping the ball, showing and going. No problem, touches it down. And really solid start from the Americans. Ngwenyi this time offloading. And Chris Wiles, the local boy, is touching down.
You have a look at the games we're looming up for tomorrow. Canada, I think, have played very well in the early games. A little unlucky in both of their games, really. They're going to be probably playing for a bowl position. The USA side, they're certainly in the mix. I think we should have some really good quarterfinals tomorrow morning early.
Oh, I think it's going to be good action all the way around. As Nigel was saying earlier, the level sort of starts to even out. Guys play each other at their same level. The Big 8 boys were going at it in the quarterfinals, and it's a great day of rugby. You know that some of the battles have been settled here, but there's some big games on. And I know the Canadian boys aren't happy. The Americans have got their scalp for the last couple of games, so maybe those two will meet up in bowl competition.
The Mexican team breaks their huddle, and the Mexican wrestlers are here tonight.
Late substitute, maybe.
Mr. Mysterio. The fans here, they're really enjoying the day. Good numbers here. Just a great atmosphere here at Petco Park in San Diego.
Full credit to the organizers. Apparently they've reached last year's numbers and they're going over it as we speak. So it's been a really well-run event so far.
And Mexico gets us underway here for the second half. Ball controlled there by Matt Hawkins. Now the USA Eagles spread it wide. And there's the speed man. That was a clean pair of heels he showed down that touchline. Can he go all the way? No, he gets his support. Gillenwater looking inside. There's Nguyen again. Wiles helps out at the ruck there, and he takes the ball away. Referee was playing advantage with Chris Wiles. He'll score the try, and the USA back on the scoreboard straight after the restart.
Yeah, great vision. That was the 15's vision from Chris Wiles at the base of the ruck, acting as scrum half. He saw that the opportunity was on. Good running from him. It's got to be a nice feeling for him to be in here and running in a couple. You see the rucks forming. And Nguyen is all over the place. Some great stepping. I don't think you want to run it all the way in. He's a little tired. Looking for the offload. But give credit to the Mexicans still covering. And a good tackle here. That was the ruck. Nguyen gets the ball back this time. And Wiles pops up. See, there's no one marking the blind side. That's good opportunism. That's good vision.
Yeah, the draw was a little unkind to the Eagles, I thought, here. If they could have gotten a little confidence up, facing South Africa first up and then following it up with England, even though they were resurgent in the second half. Yeah. I think the Eagles are showing in these last two games what they're capable of doing. I think they're really showing to this American crowd the potential that they possess.
Well, they've got impact guys in Cleaver, and they've got Nguyen. These are guys who can bust open a game, and you need that in sevens.
USA leads 33-0. Big tackle in there. Able to get the offload off. Mexico still having a go here. They're certainly trying to keep possession, which they do. Palamo on the field now for the Eagles. Nice tackle.
Guess who?
Todd
We're going for the
Clever.
first, which is a knock-on.
We've seen him over and over and over. Last year he had one of the biggest hits of the weekend here. Todd always doing the job. Plays prop in the sevens game on the side of the scrum in the 15s. And have a look at this. Whack.
Dang.
Hello, Juan Pablo Andrade. Eagles with possession. Little knock on there from Threaten Palamo. That'll slow things down, slow the momentum down, and Mexico will have the scrum put in.
Time off.
The referee wants to stop the game for a minute here.
Blue. White. Number 9.
A bit of a sub coming in. So I know the game's over, but a big moment for
and
Mexican
number 4
players
done.
here. They don't have to be on the big stage. They're playing for small amateur clubs in Mexico. That's great. In the game.
I remember the first time Mexico came to an IRB Sevens event. It was in Los Angeles a number of years ago, and they won a game on Sunday. And the joy out of the whole squad was just remarkable. And just being here is a big step for these Mexican players. Come away with the ball. That's number 7, Jason Pye. Jason Pye regathers his own kick. And there we go. The Eagles stretch the lead further.
Unfortunate Jeffrey Clark, the Mexican substitute. His first action was to be to run around and then kick through. But good opportunism from Jason Pye. Like I said, there's guys on this team who can beat you in lots of different ways. Just a step outside, and the new man was a little flat-footed. Lovely touch there, keeps the ball in play. Remember, it can't go roll out the back. He gets downward pressure on it before it rolls out the back of the dead ball.
Good to see Jason Pye back out on the sevens field. Very good player. Had shocking run of injuries last year. Plays with the Park City Club up in Utah. And nice to see him back fully fit and putting tries on the board. Lovely kick from Nese Malifa. Just expands the scoreline. USA with 3.5 minutes to go. 40 points to 0 over Mexico.
Yeah, well, they've given their home crowd something to cheer about here, which is nice. I think it's just a matter of these guys spending a little bit more time together. Every tournament, they put the experiences in the bank, and I think the U.S. are on for a big upset soon.
The nice thing about their performances so far this year is they'll be going to Hong Kong, but they've also earned the trip to Adelaide this year in Australia. They'll be making their debut in Australia, and that's a big invite for this American group. 6 out of the 8 tournaments, that's moving up in the rankings.
Yep. And hey, they're doing it when they get there. To say the Canadians who have been regulars in all the tournaments have lost a couple, and they're worried.
Oh, good run, good angle. Number 9, Troy Hall, just took the inside ball. Nice and straight run.
Great vision from the substitute. Seeing that things were a bit static, the Mexicans were standing flat-footed. Good change of direction, as you say, the line of run back to where the ball was coming from. Good stuff from Troy Hall. Here you see it, setting up, sees the hole right in there. You see the Mexican defense is staggered. They're not in a flat line, and that creates opportunities for him to run into, and good awareness from Troy Hall.
Yeah, the inside angle here just took it straight past the referee. Really nothing the Mexican defense didn't do. They were just sort of grabbing at straws. USA Eagles 47, Mexico 0. We got a 1.5 minutes left.
Good to know the medical boys are working hard, getting some phone numbers.
It's just one big happy family here.
Oh, it's been a great party here.
Roll 3! No hands blue! Number 1 from the side and still going.
And still going. Todd Clever. No advantage there to Mexico.
Must be down on a team member.
Coming in on the side, Todd Clever. They're just slowing the possession up. See if Mexico can put some points on the board here for the first time today. And this is always the great difficulty, Gareth, is having the continuity to put points on the board for some of these teams that don't get together very often.
Yeah, it is. And amateur side, there's 2 sides to that. One, obviously, they want to put something on the board. But now we're getting to the later rounds here in the next few games. Points difference is a big issue. We just saw it in the last game with the French getting enough points over on Wales to go ahead on a points difference. Well, what presumably will be a points difference.
Engage.
New Zealand win. So all things for the coaches to think about. Al Caravelli's done a good job with this team, coach of the Eagles. Just had too tough a pool today, and other than this game, it hasn't really gone their way.
And in goes Chris Wiles for his hat-trick. 3 tries this afternoon versus Mexico for Chris Wiles. And with the kick to come, this should just about wrap up business. 52 points to 0. USA over Mexico. We got a conversion to come, but that should wind the clock down to full time.
Yeah, Chris Wiles just showing the outside, just sensing the defense. The man came across in front of him, but there was no obstruction. And Wiles had more than enough pace to touch it down. That's a nice feeling, pretty rare. Don't see any hats out on the surface here, but pretty rare for him and a great moment for Chris Wiles.
All right, that's the USA finishing the day off in style over Mexico. They'll take the 3rd spot in this very difficult Pool D. 52 points.